In this video, we take you to Lake Kissimmee State Park in Florida. We give you a tour of the park and show you the best campsites. Let's get to it. Check out our latest RV and camping related gear at our Amazon storefront. Link in video description. First, I want to give you a little map orientation. Here's the entrance station at the northern end of the park. You'll be coming into the park off of Camp Mack Road. And it's like a 3-mile drive winding back through here. You'll come through pine scrub forest, lots of live oak trees with Spanish moss. And you'll wind up back in here where the general store is. There's a picnic area. I'm going to show you the general store here in just a minute. You have this canal that comes through here. They call it the Zipper Canal. And it connects Lake Kissimmee with Lake Rosalie. And they have canoe and kayak rental in the general store that's right in front of me. And but I'm going to take you around the first part of the video and show you the general facilities, and then we're going to take a walk over to Cowboy Camp. They call it Cow Camp, and here it is, Cow Camp, right in here. And it's like a 1/4-mile walk back into the camp, and they have a exhibit there. It's not open every day of the week, so you'll have to check the schedule when you come out. But that's worth going to. And they do have an exhibit going out at Cow Camp today, and I'll be showing you that exhibit. And then I'll wrap the video up with taking you to the campground, which is up in here. And I'll give you a real quick tour of that campground, and I'll also show you the best campsites. Once you arrive to the main area here at Lake Kissimmee State Park, you'll see the Cracker Shack General Store. There's parking here. There are restrooms with flush toilets in that building. I'll show you some photos of the inside of the general store. They do have kayak rental here. I believe canoe rental too. And there's a boat ramp and a very pretty waterfront right behind this building. Let me show you. There's the parking area. You have all of these live oak trees all the way out through here, and then you have some scrub pine forest on the way out. You have this nice deck on the back of the general store with some picnic tables. Here's Melody and Milo. Hanging out on the bridge. Hi, Melody. And they have a picnic shelter, large picnic shelter, covered shelter with a bunch of picnic tables back behind this parking area that's in the center of your screen. I'll walk you back there a little bit later in the video. Melody saw some snail shells over here. We've seen these before in Florida. The birds like these shells. You see those shells right there? Snow shells. Big snails. It sure is pretty. And peaceful. Well, I just noticed that Melody's advertising our channel today. Living our dream now. Woo! So there's the general store where we just were. This is the large parking area. Oh, you can see Melody and Milo clear down at the end of the parking lot. And right to my immediate right is the boat ramp. And it has been pretty busy since we've been here. And here you have a nice fish cleaning station. And the dock area. The park road is off to my left. As you're coming into the main activity area, you're going to see a sign that says Cow Camp and Equestrian Area off to your right. If you're going to the cow camp, that's where you want to go. There's a dirt road that takes you back to cow camp. Melody and I did drive back there out that dirt road, but there's not much parking back there. So there's several parking areas right beyond this sign that you see on your screen. Off to the right there, you'll see the first parking area. There's a little bridge, and then there's a second parking area. You can park in either of those two parking areas if you want to go back and walk back to cow camp. Okay, we just arrived at Cowboy Camp. Florida Cowboy Camp, 1876. Let's take a step back in time. Okay, we're continuing to walk back to Cowboy Camp, and we ran into the sign.
Stop. Beyond the sign, you will enter the year 1876. Grant is president.
We have arrived at Cowboy Camp.
Thank you so much.
So certain days of the week they have a live exhibit. They have somebody dressed up here in time period garb. The animals are out. It is a very pretty drive coming out to Lake Kissimmee State Park. And Cowboy Camp is scenic as well. All these live oak trees. Yeah, it looks like this is the Cowboy Camp. Oh, look at these bunk beds. Wow. Good place to eat or work, or eat and work. Well, I'm glad we came out during a live exhibit. This is not open every day. think there's a calf over here. Well, Isaiah is the name of the actor here at this live exhibit, and he just told us all about the camp. And of course, he has this horse.
Yeah,
it does work.
Yeah. My hands are gonna smell like it. It's alright, I'd rather have it smell like it than have that dirt.
It works pretty good. So folks, this was the actual site of a cowboy camp that is located in Lake Kissimmee State Park. You have to walk out here to get to the cowboy camp. It's probably about a quarter-mile walk from the parking area. So when you leave the parking area boat ramp, you have some picnic tables and some benches right along the water, the canal. And that's where we're headed. We're gonna follow this trail out, and there's supposed to be an observation tower out here. It is a very relaxing state park. This is the canal. Somebody's coming down the canal in a boat. Yeah, here comes the boat. Better catch up with Melody. And folks, I think I located the observation tower. Melody and Milo are honing in on it. Let's go see if we can climb up in that observation tower, take a peek. For the last several years, Melody and I have purchased a Florida State Parks pass, annual pass, well worth it. Exploring natural Florida in the many state parks in this state is a real treat, folks. We had to drive about an hour from the Kissimmee area to get to Lake Kissimmee State Park, but I tell you, it was well worth a visit. I believe the entrance to this tower is right off to my left. I just love these live oak trees with the Spanish moss. Is Milo going up?
no, I'll stay here.
Oh, this is pretty. I'm wondering if that's an airboat I hear in the distance. There's a second, third level up here. Let's go up here. Wow. Wait till I zoom in for you folks. This is why I wanted to take you up here. I think that may be an airboat. There's Lake Kissimmee. Natural Florida. You gotta love it. Okay, there's one more level. I'm gonna take you up there with me. If it's open, let's check it out. Well, there must be something wrong with the upper level. That's not a gate, that is gated off. They have it boarded off. but you can access the level that I'm on right now, and it's a pretty decent vantage point. So I'm gonna make my way back toward the campground, and if you're familiar with our YouTube channel, I love taking you out and showing you the best campsites. I keep the video pretty brief, so hang in here with me and I'll show you the best campsites here in Lake Kissimmee State Park. Adjacent to the tower area, they have a playground, more picnic tables, and a picnic pavilion off to the left here. And it looks like there are several picnic pavilions back here, at least 3. Oh, there's a lot more than 3. There's a whole bunch of these picnic pavilions back here. Nice facilities. And it looks like there's a set of restrooms back here, right behind where the picnic area is. And right behind the picnic area, there's a footpath to the campground. So now I'm in the Lake Kissimmee State Park campground. This is the trail that takes you back toward the marina, store, and the main use area. Let's take a look around the campground. They have some huge sites. The site 42, they're well marked as well. That's site 42 right in the center of your screen. That one would be a keeper. As well as site 41. 41 backs up against the wood line here. There's no height clearance issue. That tree's way up there. Let's take a look at the... Ooh, there's a lizard in there. Okay, that looks like 50 and 30 amp electric service. And you have water right there, and there's a dump station as you pull into the campground. So this is a look back at site 41. It's a keeper going down the book for Lake Kissimmee State Park Campground. So I was just chatting with some of the campground staff, and so I'll fill you in on this. They just installed, well, they have installed a bunch of these 50 amp hookups. I guess they're running into a problem with the overall system being able to handle all these new 50 amp circuits. So I give the campground a call after you make your reservation or before you make your reservation on the site you're looking for, because they're talking about, even though the site has a 50 amp hookup, they're talking about restricting how many 50 amps are operable. This is a good site, site 43. Yeah, that is a humongous site. Site 43 going down the book, 30, 50 amp electric hookup, and you have your water connection. So off to my left here is site 47, sits back in the corner pocket. You have nothing behind you. Site 47 going down the book. This is I would say this is a handicap site. It's all concreted. You have a fire ring toward the rear of the site. It's a very long site. It will accommodate my fifth wheel. That's site number 49, folks. Looks like there's a tent camper in there. And then you have a sidewalk taking you back to the restroom facility that's just behind that tree there. But site 49 going down the book. Here is a very appealing campsite, campsite number 56. Very, very long site. Looks like you have water. Fairly new looking pedestal, 50-30 amp electric service. And this is your campsite. Goes clear back in here. There's your fire ring and picnic table. But after you back in here, this is going to be the view from your sitting area right in here. So, yeah, that works, folks. Site number 56 in the center of your screen, going down the book. So right now, I'm in the first loop. I started out in the second loop because I came in through the pedestrian walkway. The campsites are smaller. This one happens to be fairly large. It's campsite 6, but you got 30 amp hookups over on this end. I haven't seen any 50 amp yet. And the campground loop seems to be a lot tighter turns and smaller sites in the first loop. So if you have a smaller camping configuration, the first loop may work for you. Well, I did find a very large site here in the first loop. This is site number, is this site 6? No, this is site 9. This is going to be site 9. I was looking at it upside down. Look how big this site is. Let's see what kind of electric hookups we have. It looks like a 30 amp box. Yeah, you're going to have 30 amp electric service. There's your water. And that's your campsite, folks. So I'm thinking this campground, they went back after it was first established and then put some of these larger sites in. That's the only thing I can figure, because that's a pretty sharp turn. If you have a big rig trying to make that turn back in your rig in there, it's a little tight. But it is a double wide site. So at any rate, that is site number 9 for you. You can determine whether that's going to work for you. Just up the road from site number 9 is site 10. That's site 10 right here. Let's go back and take a look at the electric hookup. So site 10 is going to be a 30 amp electric service. I'm going to put site 10 down in the book for you. That's going to be easier to back into. You don't have to worry about height restriction on that tree. It's way up off the ground. And my fifth wheel would fit in that site. Site number 10 going down the book. This is what I'm talking about with some of these sites being short in this first loop. This is site 27. Look how short that campsite is. And on your way out of the campground, you have a dump station and a freshwater fill. Dump station's back there. And on the right-hand side, there's your freshwater fill. I hope you got something out of this video. That's why we make them. I'll have the upload and download speeds for Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile in the written video description on YouTube. If you like these videos, like and subscribe, and I'll see you down the road.